Hello, 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 and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday where I, your host, Tyrone Glover, is here to present you with some of the most important information that you will probably ever get in this brand new year of 2024. Welcome, 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 everyone, to the show. My name is Tyrone Glover, and I am your dress down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. It is a pleasure to be with you on this Tuesday. I want to thank the creator for because without him, none of this would be possible. None of this would be possible. I hope everybody out there is paying attention to what's going on around us. And if you are, the one thing that you should be more or less focusing on, I know this election is coming up here in November, but we should be also focusing on our financial understanding, our financial literacy, our financial independence. We should be really paying a key interest to this because, again, we're going to get somebody in that office in November. We're going to get somebody in that office in November, and I'm hoping that the individual who goes in that office is looking out for you because if you're not looking out for you, maybe somebody else will be. But I'm going to be doing my part. The Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery is going to be doing his part. We're going to be educating you. We're going to be making sure that you have the wherefore, that you have the due diligence, that you are smart, wise, savvy, intelligent, bright, brilliant to navigate whoever goes in that office. All right. It doesn't matter. For me right now, it's not about race. It is about have and have nots. Eat for a day or eat for a lifetime. Which one is it going to be, folks? You're going to have to decide. You are going to have to get out of that comfort zone and step out of that box and start putting things together, puzzle pieces that need to be connected so that your financial future is secured. It's protected. I wanted to do this show yesterday, but not yesterday, but last week, but due to an event that I could not get out of, I'm going to do it this week. And this is to remember our fallen legacy leader, Martin Luther King. And this show is directed somewhat around that, what his message was. We know he had a civil rights message. We know he had an equal justice message, but he also had a financial message as well. So we're going to be talking about some of the things that Martin Luther King brought to the table when it came to our financial well-being. So again, before we get started, again, I always say, if you haven't already, why don't you grab that device and why don't you send out a couple of invites as I've already done. I went to my Instagram, I went to my social media pages, I went to all of those pages where I always go and sent out a couple of invites letting people know, hey, that guy's back on again. He's doing that thing, so chime in and get some of this knowledge. All right, so we're going to get started with the show. And the topic of today is going to be reclaiming financial independence. Reclaiming financial independence and justice. This is probably, I have to say, I like this topic. I think it's very important. I think this is probably going to be one of the better shows. So tune in, send out those invites to everybody else that's out there in the world. Let them know, hey, get on board. It's now time, folks. It is now time. It's overdue time. The things that I've been teaching my students, the things that I've been teaching my day trading athletes. I like to call them athletes because we focus around there on a more of a sports-oriented type of understanding. The things that I've been just putting out there in the world, I write for a online publication called Substack. And everybody, if you get the chance, go and check out my Substack. We are living in times right now, folks. We are living in the most turbulent, troubling times. And I believe if we get our finances, no matter what the country itself does, there's so much wealth out there. If we get our finances in order, we'll be able to get that independence and we'll be able to create the justice that we're looking for. Right? It's just that simple. I always say that all the time because it is. It's just that simple. The things that I've learned from being a corporate American executive, the things that I've learned from being a teacher, the things that I've learned from, we all should have learned, but some of us didn't, the things that I've learned from being locked down due to COVID and using the technology and the internet for what it's truly worth, this only helped me out. It's only made me that better of a individual who understands what I need to be doing for those who look just like me. And I said it, for those who look just like me. You look like me, guess what? you probably are sitting somewhere in a situation that you yourself are not 100% okay with. If you don't look like me, I can guarantee you too. Because guess what? Poverty, poor, doesn't see any color. Does not. You might think it does, but it really does not. And it's overdue, as I keep saying, overdue time for us to get out of our way and start making the best of what we have as opportunities. So we're going to talk a little bit about the company. We're going to vision and mission. We're going to definitely look at MLK's recognition, some of MLK's quotes. We got a Q&A session, and then we want you to drop us a line. If you like what you hear, like what you see, drop us a line. Just that simple, just that easy. All right, so let's get the party started. So about the company, Leverage Credit Recovery. In the heart of a bustling city where the struggle of the working poor, the ever-eroding middle class, and the full-time working homeless seem insurmountable, a beacon of hope emerged, Leverage Credit Recovery. The financial institution is not just a number or transaction. It's about changing lives, rewriting the narrative of those who have long been marginalized. All right. Again, this is deep, and I'm going to get real deep on you here in a minute. Amidst the diverse tapestry of individuals, including Black males, females, African American, Hispanics, and individuals of various ethnic groups, Leverage Credit Recovery saw the potential for transformation. The focus was not on the color of one's skin, but on their dedication and work ethics. You put in that work, I'm telling you, you stay dedicated, committed, and resolute, and the solutions will be there for you. That's who's going to succeed at this endeavor. The dedicated, the resolute, and the committed will see the success that they are looking for. And which one are you? Or are you all three? Because I prefer the all three. All right, so who am I? The story unfolds with a charismatic leader at the helm of Leverage Credit Recovery, a visionary who believes in the power of financial inclusion. Leverage Credit Recovery offers tailored solutions, breaking down barriers which have kept many from accessing credit and financial stability. We understand the unique challenges faced by the working poor, the ever-eroding middle class, and the full-time working homeless, and we are determined to make a difference. Again, I love that it identify those categories. Working poor. That should scare a lot of us. Working, but yet you're still poor. The ever-eroding middle class. Joe Biden keeps talking, oh, we're going to build from the bottom up or the middle out and so forth and so on. Again, I don't care who you vote for, folks. You can vote for Joe. You can vote for the third party. You can vote for the Trumpers. It doesn't matter. My job is to make sure that you understand what you are going to have to do when it comes to your money, your finances, your resources. If you understand that, you'll be able to weather any storm that any one of these leaders decides to throw at you. It's just that simple. Through innovative programs and initiatives, Leverage Credit Recovery empowers individuals to build credit, provide them with the tools and knowledge needed to navigate the financial landscape. The impact was profound as families began to break free from the cycles of poverty and the middle class found renewed strength. Yes, the clients that I've helped have come back to me and they have gave me some updates and they've let me know that, yo, your program works. Everything seems to be going accordingly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just helped a wonderful young lady in a scene that went into court and she slayed it. Yes, as I said, we do with all types of financial situations, even those that end up in a summary judgment where you have to go to court. Yes, I sent a senior in after I prepared that senior into court, and she came out victoriously. All right? Dismissed with prejudice. Can't be brought up again. Yes, that's right. We're going to give ourselves an applause and a pat on the back. And I want to thank that individual who reached out to us because she was unsure what to do. And we put her right on that pathway to success. The surprising twist in the story was the realization that skin color does not determine success at Leverage Credit Recovery. White individuals who have once held the false notion that privilege based on their skin color was where they were humbled by the reality that true success comes from hard work and dedication. Leverage Credit Recovery shattered stereotypes and fosters a sense of unity among its diverse clientele. So we do not care what ethnic group you come from. We are definitely talking to the African Americans. We are definitely talking to the Hispanics, those two truly marginalized groups. And we are talking to those poor whites who, again, who believe for whatever reason that just because Anglo-Saxons or primarily evangelical males have held positions of power for since the inception of this country, they still believe that that skin has some privilege. Well, I'm here to rudely awaken you. It doesn't. If you are poor, rich people will walk over you just like they will any other ethnic group. It's just that simple. I think I'm gonna have to name a TV show after that. It's just that simple. Because it's really, when you really get away from the logical brain that we so often use and go back into that common sense brain, you will probably see it is just that simple. All right? As success stories emerged, the community witnessed a positive ripple effect. The once disenfranchised found themselves on a path to financial independence, and the city began to thrive as a result. Leverage Credit Recovery became a catalyst for change, providing that economic empowerment known as not boundaries, and that when given the opportunity, individuals of all backgrounds can achieve greatness. Time is money, folks. Time is money. Get out of your way and focus on how to make that money make money for you. We don't work for money. We work for a wage. We work for a compensation. But your money is making money, and you need to know how that money is working. Because if it's not working for you, let me tell you, it's definitely working for somebody else. In the end, Leverage Credit Recovery became more than just a financial institution. It became a symbol of hope, equity, and the transformative power of breaking down systemic barriers. The working poor, the ever-eroding middle class, and the full-time working homeless, regardless of their ethnicity, found a partner in their journey towards a brighter and more secure future. Folks, it is time, it is time, it is time. What are you going to wait, or what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for another insurrection? Are you waiting for another MAGA type of movement? Are you waiting for a Democrat who's going to really get in there and actually do what Democrats do? Are you waiting for a Republican? What are you waiting for to finally move yourself out of some of these harm or these ways of harm that we have found ourselves in? I say you should do what I am asking. It's only a recommendation. You're grown. You individuals that I'm talking to are grown. And I hope I have some youngsters in here who might be able to inspire their parents. Because I'm already teaching your kids. I'm already instilling them with the principles of what they're going to have to do if wealth has not already been passed down to them. And we have 5 generations. After this year, we have the alphas, but after this year, 2025, there's a brand new generation that's going to emerge. That will now be 7 generations. 7 generations since 1949, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but you can double check it. You can Google it. I've been Googling generations for the last 2-3 weeks now, and it's pretty amazing to see how many generations have now come and gone, and we're still trying or attempting to find a pathway to securing our financial future. It's disturbing, and I'm disturbed by it. And it's enlightening to understand that with all of the resources, with all of the tools, with all of the technology, with all of the new financial products that are out there, this country is so wealthy, but yet we still have so many individuals living in harm's way due to financial instability. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. And it's going to stop one way or another. But I'm hoping that with what I bring to the table, it will inspire others to equally decide, hey, you know what? Let me reach out to this young man, see if he can give me some good advice. Already even more good advice. Time is money, folks. Time is money. What are you waiting for? All right, so our mission and our vision. Our mission and our vision is paving the way to economic empowerment in communities of color. That's it. That's our mission and that's our vision. Is paving the way for economic empowerment in communities of color. In a world where economic disparities persist, one financial institution is taking bold steps to redefine the narrative of communities of color. Leverage Credit Recovery, with its unwavering mission and visionary approach, is emerging as a beacon of hope, actively contributing to the economic empowerment of marginalized communities. The core mission of Leverage Credit Recovery goes beyond the traditional financial services. It is a commitment to dismantling systemic barriers that have hindered economic progress for communities of color for far too long. The institution recognizes the unique challenges faced by individuals in Black, Hispanic, and other communities, and it is determined to address these challenges head on. That's it. That's what we are determined to do. This is our mission, and this is our vision. All right, at the heart of Leverage Credit Recovery's vision is the belief that financial empowerment is not just about transactions, but about building lasting relationships and fostering a sense of community. Leverage Credit Recovery understands that the true economic empowerment involves providing not only access to credit and affordable loans, but also offering educational resources and support. One of the standout features at Leverage Credit Recovery's approach is its focus on financial literacy within communities of color. Financial literacy, becoming financially literate, becoming financially intelligent. Those things are essential. And I'm still going to keep asking that question to our higher education, to our preparatory education level. Why is it that we do not have an emphasis on all 50 states when it comes to financial literacy, financial intelligence? Why is it that we remove such a core element of becoming an adult, a responsible, financially responsible adult? Why haven't we removed that from the educational process? It's really, really disturbing to know that major cities do not focus, major states do not focus on making sure that their citizens are financially literate and financially intelligent. It will definitely change the trajectory of where a lot of the citizens in this country are going by creating just that one opportunity. One opportunity. So, as I stated, one of the standout features of Leverage Credit Recovery's approach is its focus on financial literacy within communities of color. Leverage Credit Recovery actively engages with local leaders to organize educational workshops covering critical topics like budgeting, investing, and home ownership. By equipping individuals with the knowledge to make informed, and that's the key word right there, informed financial decisions. Informed. We're not rushing any longer. We're not falling victim or prey to any of these shenanigans that are being put out there by horrible banks and horrible institutions. One of the horrible banks is Wells Fargo. Another one of those horrible banks is Chase. Another one of those horrible banks is Citi. Another one of those horrible banks is Bank of America. All of these brick and mortar institutions who have for decades taken advantage of the marginalized communities. Taking advantage. And I'm appalled with Congress by letting these institutions get off with just a slap on the wrist, a fine of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm appalled at the regulatory bodies that are equally supposed to be protecting us, the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau. Again, where does all of your fines and fee money go to? Because the doggone sure doesn't go back to the people who have been harmed. It certainly doesn't. Your policies that were designed to protect has only emboldened the habitual abusers to continue to keep abusing. We are going to put a stop to that, and I'm going to need every single individual that can hear my voice to share this and pass this on to others within your community, others within your household, others within your state, others, it doesn't matter. Pass this information on and let's rally around this movement. Let's rally around this opportunity prior to the next election, because I got some stuff on deck. I got some stuff on deck. I plan on being out there to make sure I do not care who you vote for. Do not care. I have no horse in that race, but I will be voting. And I can tell you right now, I won't be voting for the bronze guy. It's just that simple. All right, by equipping individuals with the knowledge to make informed financial decisions, Leverage Credit Recovery is not just providing service, it's empowering generations. And that's the key. Generations. Wealth is passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. If you are not wealthy right now, I'm not saying that you cannot be rich, but I'm saying that that wealth that should have come from the previous generations, if it's not there, you are definitely not going to be wealthy. But you can start today. You can start tomorrow. You can start next month during Black History Month. Start putting yourself on a pathway to becoming rich, and then making sure that those generations that will come after you have the opportunity to continue. And then at some point, who knows, maybe they will be wealthy. But we got to get out from behind the 8-ball and make ourselves known that we will no longer be victimized by these financial institutions, nor will we be victimized by this so-called Congress, nor will we be victimized by the regulatory bodies that are there and supposed to be there to protect us. It is overdue time for citizens who are smart, wise, savvy, intelligent, bright, brilliant, beautiful, Black, Hispanic, whites, Middle Eastern, Asian. It is time for those marginalized communities to stand up and start addressing these concerns that have been going on for far too long. Leverage Credit Recovery commitment to collaboration extends beyond its own walls. Leverage Credit Recovery actively partners with local organizations and initiates initiatives to address systemic issues and create a supportive ecosystem. This collaborative effort is proving instrumental in breaking down long-standing barriers and fostering a community-driven approach to economic empowerment. Why we exist, economic empowerment. What set Leverage Credit Recovery apart is its recognition that economic disparities are not confined to transactional process, but are deeply rooted in historical and systemic issues. By actively engaging with and understanding the unique challenges faced by communities of color, the institution is not only addressing the symptoms, but also tackling the root cause of financial inequities. We are doing it, folks, because we understand what we need to do to make sure that communities of color have the fortitude to move forward. We are tired of being stagnant. We got stagnant wages. We got stagnant everything going on when it comes to individuals of color. And we got to break these misnomers. We are smart, we are wise, we are savvy, we are bright, we are brilliant, we are beautiful. So why is it that we are still dealing with things that should have been gone decades ago? Well, we're dealing with them because we, the individual, clearly we don't have the knowledge. The knowledge is out there. The individuals, as I say all the time, the smart people, they are knocking. Opportunity is knocking. What are you going to do? You going to keep leaving the door closed? Are you still looking through the peephole? Or are you going to open that door and welcome these opportunities that are being put in front of you? Because if you do, I'm telling you, those smart people are out there. They're out there. Be careful of the ones who claim that they're smart and trying to make sure that their pockets are full. But I don't do this to make sure that my pockets are full. This is free information. You can come and join me at the library equally as well. Free information. I will help you until you understand it without charging you one penny. But if you want to become a client, I'm open for that as well. We work with all demographics. We know there are those who are capable and all they need is just the understanding and some coaching. We know there are those who lifestyle might be a little bit too hectic and they need someone to do it for them. We will accommodate. No problem at all. As a result of Leverage Credit Recovery's mission and vision, communities of colors are experiencing tangible transformation. All right, it's time for some self-care, folks. It's time for some self-care. Economic disparities are narrowing and individuals are gaining the tools they need to thrive independently. Leverage credit recovery is becoming synonymous with empowerment, resilience, and the belief that every individual, regardless of their background, desires an equal opportunity for financial success. In conclusion, Leverage Credit Recovery is not just a financial institution, it is a catalyst of positive change. Its mission and vision are not mere rhetoric, but a powerful force reshaping the financial landscape for communities of color. As we applaud these efforts, let us recognize that economic empowerment knows no boundaries, and initiatives like Leverage Credit Recovery are lightening the way towards a more inclusive and equitable future. And again, please hone in on those last two items. Inclusive, because we need to be more inclusive versus being exclusive, and we need to be focusing on equity versus fair. All right, we need to be focusing on being more inclusive versus exclusive, and we need to be focusing on more equitable understandings versus being fair. All right, so as I said, I wanted to thank the mayor of Yonkers for sponsoring this breakfast that we had here on January 15th that honored our, again, the most prolific, the individual that has helped me understanding how I need to move and maneuver. And I watched Rustin, I think that's the proper pronunciation, and I was just even more impressed by all of what our ancestors and what our legends have done for us for this very moment in history. For us, for me as a Black man to be speaking to you, I have to thank those who came before me. And honoring Dr. Martin Luther King was just one of those things that we need to continue to keep doing as we move through the next month, which is Black History Month, and as we continue, because our history is no mystery. And Black history is a monthly duty. A monthly duty. We might get 1 month to celebrate it, but it is a requirement for all 12 of the months. But I want you to listen to some of these statements that King made about understandings within our own community.
Kind of poverty of the spirit, which stands in glaring contrast to his scientific and technological abundance.
Listen to this.
When we look at modern man, we have to face the fact that modern man suffers from a kind of poverty of the spirit, which stands in glaring contrast to his scientific and technological abundance.
One more time. Listen to
when we look at modern man, we have to face the fact that modern man suffers from a kind of poverty of the spirit, which stands in glaring contrast to his scientific and technological abundance.
Poverty of the spirit. Okay, that for me, that said more than enough, which stands in glaring contrast to the scientific and technological abundance. Folks, if he was saying this back in the 60s, and we're still living this today, what progress have we truly really made? Because I believe that poverty of the spirit still lingers today. Listen to this one here.
Fly the air like birds, we've learned to swim the seas like fish, and yet we haven't learned to walk the earth as brothers and sisters. We've learned to fly the air like birds, we've learned to swim the seas like fish, and yet we haven't learned to walk the earth as brothers and sisters.
We have learned to fly the air like birds and swim the seas like fish, but yet we still cannot walk this earth like brothers and sisters. That is bone chilling because it is so true today. We see more dysfunction amongst our own than we should be seeing at all. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Back in the 60s, okay, back in the 60s, our legacy leaders have given us a message that's told us what we need to be doing, and why are we not doing it? What is the holdup? What are we waiting for? So as I brought this in, I want to now move on to what Dr. Martin Luther King has done for all of us. For all of us. We commemorate the impactful civil rights activists who left a lasting legacy on our society. While Martin Luther King is widely recognized for his efforts to end racial segregation and combat racism, it's noteworthy that he has also shared profound insights on economics and finances. Dr. King believed that social inequality was closely tied to poverty, advocating for financial literacy and the pursuit of financial independence. In 1966, the year that I was born, 57 years ago, he played a role in the Freedom Budget, a declaration of war on poverty published by the A. Philip Rudolph Institute. Although the proposal did not become law, its impact valuable lessons that remain vigilant today. On this significant holiday, which was the January 15th, we pay tribute to Martin Luther King by exploring some of his financial perspectives and thoughts. In Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the drum major's instinct sermon, he cautioned against exceeding one's financial means. King referred to the drum major instinct, suggesting that the desire to be predominantly featured akens to a drum major, close jeopardizing personal freedom. The instinct often manifested in individuals purchasing extravagance and costly items that surpass their budgetary limits. We're still doing it today. This Christmas, I begged individuals. I went out and I pleaded with individuals. Stop giving that hard-earned bread to these stores that are doing what? They're giving you garbage. Hate to have to say it. Amazon, Tumi, Walmart, Costco, all they have jacked up the prices, and you are still out there buying like crazy. I just saw I think it was on MSNBC. It might have been on a couple of other news broadcasts. It might have even been on CNBC. Again, doesn't matter where you get your information from. Look it up. Price gouging is going on, and it is going on rampantly everywhere. Yeah, they're using inflation to use as a means to keep them prices high. But again, there's a lot of manipulation going on. And by us going out there and contributing to the manipulation, it only emboldens them to continue to keep doing what they're doing. We do not have enough regulators out there today that are going to, whether they go into the bodegas, whether they go into the ShopRites, whether they go into the food lands or the food towns, whether they're going to whatever, home goods what is that? Whole Foods or wherever you shop. Price gouging is going on. And these companies are turning over a profit and more and more. Look at their earnings. Look at their earnings. They're earning even more, and they're using inflation, and they're using us as their tools to take advantage of us, the consumers. All because we are so engaged with stuff, and we should be more engaged with stock, learning how to invest, learning how to put that bread to work. Make your money work for you instead of you working for your money. King emphasized that point starting. Do you ever see people buy cars that they can't even begin to buy in terms of their income? Yes, I was one of those individuals. He highlighted instances where individuals with modest incomes were driving luxury cars exceeding the recommended proportion of any automobile cost to annual income. Yes, I was one of those. I needed to have the BMWs. I needed to have the Mercedes. I needed to have the Audis. I needed to have the Volkswagens. I needed to have the Cadillacs. Now we got those secondary market cars like your Nissans and your Hondas that their price ranges are now exceeding 30 and the 40,000. You got the Hyundais that came over when back in the day where they were 3 and 4,000. These were economically friendly cars. They weren't for racing. They were for just getting you from point A to point B. Now they're in the 20s and the 30s and 40,000. All right. They know how to take advantage of us because they've given us the perfect name, consumer. While they capitalize and we keep consuming, their bottom line gets bigger and ours gets smaller. Impact also has a detrimental effect on your credit. Because if you're not living up to those contractual obligations, then you are putting yourself further in harm's way. King urged caution, emphasizing that overspending leads to financial struggle and perpetual inability to make ends meet. All right, let's say that one more. King urged caution, emphasizing that overspending leads to financial struggle. If we just started to think about this message that was given 57 years ago, and we still haven't made any adjustments, at least not enough of us. And I know through systemic misunderstandings that have been perpetuated by our government and our leaders and individuals of, again, not the same ethnic group that we aspire or we are a part of, but we can see that they have not done nearly enough. Not done nearly enough to make sure that equity is across the board for all individuals. But we ourselves have to recognize as well that we haven't equally participated in that which could bring us more financial fortitude. I hope today that you're walking away with a good sense of, I need to be doing more. And if you do, the partners are here. If you need that support, if you need that assistance, if you need that help, the partners are here. In line with King's teaching, an essential lesson emerged about budgeting, avoiding spending beyond your means. As January marks the beginning of the new year, we with many resolutions, and I said no resolutions this year, we need to be making a course correction. Consider making financial motivated commitments. Take the opportunity to review your budgets with the following steps. Record your gross monthly income before taxes. List necessary expenses such as taxes, rent, utilities, and non-negotiable payments. Compare this total to your monthly income. If there's a surplus, you have discretionary spending room for treats like vacations. If the total surplus is your income, consider increasing earnings. There are multiple ways, and I know going to your employer and say, "Hey, boss, I need a raise," they're probably going to look at you and laugh. But there are other ways where you can find passive income, where you can make passive income. You just have to know how. And one of the ways that I'm helping individuals is teaching them how to day trade. Yes, that sounds like a taboo word, but let me tell you when I tell you, if you go back and read my Substacks on the one that I just created when it comes to how day trading is the game changer, is the it's going to even the playing field for those who know how to get in, out successfully. All right. So again, if the total surpasses your income, consider increasing your earnings through a side hustle or seeking a raise. Alternatively, reduce expenses by exploring more affordable housing. We know that that is a chaos in most of these cities, especially if you live on a coastal area. New York, unbelievable. California, unbelievable. Unbelievable, and they should be ashamed of themselves. But because you don't tax the rich in the manner in which you should be taxing the rich, that's why we have these disproportionate understandings when it comes to affordable housing. gentrifying, moving people out of their neighborhoods so that you can build lavish luxury buildings and then only give 2 and 5 and 10% to those that you have misplaced or displaced. My apologies. All right. Seeking lower insurance rates. That's almost impossible. I went to look for a car, was getting ready to buy a car, was ready to sign on the dotted line. The guy called the insurance company, and before I knew it, the insurance guy was telling me $3,500 down. And I was like, for who? For who? That was more than what I was putting down for the car. Plus, my monthly was going to be somewhere up around $500, $800, something crazy. And I ain't never had no accidents. I ain't never had no traffic infractions that since the last 15 years. And for me to get hit with something like that, I was like, oh, there's absolutely no way that I'm purchasing a car. You're penalizing me out the gate when I haven't even done anything. You insurance companies are, again, another one of these monopolies that take advantage of the most vulnerable citizens. That was insane. And it wasn't like I was buying some Ferrari or something that required a massive amounts of insurance, or I had a driving record that was so reckless. No, it was because they can get away with it, and they've been doing it for eons. They're filling their pockets at the jump. They aren't even waiting for anything to happen, penalizing those who have not even begun to even start doing anything. This is the reason why we have more people driving around without being insured. This is why we have so many hit and runs. This is why we have so many outside, what do you call those fender benders, and the individuals drive off because they don't have coverage. Not that they should not be, not that they should be doing that, but again, when you have insurance rates that are through the roof for no reason other than to gouge, or refinancing loans. With these banks that I've already mentioned, you can't refinance loans with them because they equally are participating in the gouging. They equally are watching their bottom line, making sure that they have more than enough. The King's message remains clear. Spending more than you earn leads to financial challenges. To assist with budgeting, download this free budget worksheet. The link I'll provide to you. You can go right to my link tree. All right, link tree. That's linktr.ee/leverage credit recovery. And you'll find additional guidance. And if you need to, you can reach out to an advisor that we're befriended, that we've known for some time, John Dowd Wealth Management. Right after completing the workshop, we, again, as I said, we partner with some great entities. One of my dear friends, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, is someone that I would strongly recommend that you folks equally look out to and for. She is a brilliant individual who knows exactly what needs to be done when it comes to how you, the individual, can definitely make out in a positive, so that you yourself can also equally benefit from, again, the richest nation on the face of the planet. The richest nation on the face of the planet is this one right here. The richest nation on the face of the planet. But yet we have more people struggling than ever before. All right, so it's about 6:46. And this is that link tree that I was referring to you. My link tree is pretty cool. It has some great information. Leverage Credit Recovery's link tree, as I said, go to linktr.ee/leverage credit recovery. Unlock your financial potential by unleashing wisdom and sparking growth. That's again another one of those powerful statements that help you with making sure that you are going to do what you need to do to move forward in this world that we live in. If you get out of your own way, I'm telling you, the success that you are going to have is going to be impressive. It's going to be something that you can then pass on. As I said, generation after generation after generation after generation. There will, after 2025, be 7 generations in front of that generation. 7. And we can either set that generation up, we can either set that generation up for success, or we can continue with making sure that the next generation does not have. We've done that for 6 generations. If wealth has not been passed down to you, the likelihood of your generation being wealthy is more than likely not going to happen. But I'm not saying that you can't be rich. I'm not saying that you can't start getting those side hustles. I'm not saying that you can't start investing in the manner in which we should have done decades ago. I'm not saying that you cannot get lucky and then, by the grace of God, hit lotto or whatever the outcome may be. There are many of opportunities. You just have to decide which one is going to fit within your daily understanding of what you're going to do. We all know that we're going to have a job. The average millionaire has 7 income streams. 7 income streams. The average millionaire has 7 income streams. The average worker has 1. All right? You'll never be rich, folks. You'll never be wealthy. Right? If you want wealth, you have to create wealth. And the way to create wealth is to get out of your way first and foremost. The second way to create wealth is to open that door because opportunity has just knocked. The third way to create wealth is to focus on making sure that you are not living beyond your means. Because if you are, again, you're only perpetuating a cycle that will not stop. It will continue. It will continue. It will continue. It will continue. At some point, we have to decide what's more important: poverty, instability, or freedom, or equity. What do you want, folks? What do you want? So with that being said, I got some space. I got some time. Who's going to throw me a few questions? You on Instagram, or excuse me, you're on Facebook, throw me some questions. If you are on our StreamYard, throw us some questions. If you are on YouTube, throw us some questions. I know I sent some invites out there, and I was looking for individuals to pop some questions on me. And I know that you have some questions, folks. And this is the beauty of knowing that you have questions, because I talk to people all the time. I talk to students. I talk to professionals. I talk to my teacher friends. I talk to my business partners and friends in that regards. And they all have questions. You got a question, by all means. If you can't pose it now, we'll definitely take the time or make the time. We're not finding time any longer, folks. We are making time for these important financial things that we should have been focusing on, but it's okay. If you didn't know, you now know. And once you know something, once you have received the information that you need to move you forward, then you should be doing better. When you know how to do better, then you should do better. It's just that simple. Get out of your way. Because I don't know, as I said earlier, I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting on. But whatever it is that you're waiting for or waiting on, it is now time to decide. Has what you've been doing got you to where you needed to be? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing and getting the same results. The definition. I'm not making that up. All right. So again, my link tree again is linktr.ee/leverage credit recovery. It's got a bunch of information. Go to my Substack, read some of my letters, look at the video the program that we did on FinTech. FinTech is financial technology products that are out there, and they are, again, I believe they have better opportunities because of the fact that these are all online. Yes, I know online is scary. It's a little bit, you can be compromised, but check this out, folks. Bank of America has been compromised. They've been breached. Wells Fargo has been breached. Chase has been breached. Citibank has been breached. Equifax, TransUnion, Experian has been breached. Most of these companies that we deal with today have been breached. And you want to know the saddest thing about it? They don't tell us until months later. I'm still waiting on Equifax's $700 or $850 million breach. That was a settlement because they knew about it and they never told anybody about the breach. And then again, our regulators, CFPB, sued them, won. But you know what we got out of that? We got a free credit report. Yes, that's what we got, which 90% of the individuals never used. Never even used. So this wasn't no benefit to us. That information that was probably put on there due to whatever the malfeasance of that breach never got resolved. And we're still dealing with the repercussions today. You're scared of online? You shouldn't be scared of online. You should be scared of the institutions that you're dealing with currently. You should be running from these institutions and running to a fintech product. Because I've been working with one and I've been working with multiple, but the one that I use as my financial institution, let me tell you, it's far better than those brick and mortars. Far better than those brick and mortars. You want to know what I'm doing? As I said, reach out. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com. Send me that message. If you are on, I sent out some information to my viewers on what was that? Messenger. Sent out some information to the viewers on messengers. So again, I'm making sure that my information gets into the hands of the public, people who really need it, and the ones who don't need it. I know, I see it all the time. We have loved ones in our midst. We have those who we call our dearest and nearest in our midst. We have those who we know from work, or we know from the water cooler, who talk about the same, oh, I wish I had, I wish I could, I wish. Well, now I'm giving you the information so you don't have to wish anymore. You can now make it a reality. You can now put yourself in the position of rectifying your own financial hardships. And all you have to do is get out your own way. As I say, what do I say? Yes, it's just that easy. Because it's just that easy. You got to want it more than those who are presenting it to you. Because if you do, the success that you want will be there. The success that you are looking for will be there. The opportunities that you know that you are deserving of will be there for you. And you can start breaking the cycle of indebtedness. You can start putting our people, your people, back on the path of financial stability. Joe Biden, you're looking for a messenger. You're looking for somebody who can talk to African Americans, males primarily. You're looking for somebody who can speak to those that you can't speak to. Well, I'm sending out an invite to you, Joe. Call your boy. Erykah Badu has given you and has given everybody else the permission to call Tyrell. All right, so I'm reaching out to the White House. I'm reaching out to Congress. I'm reaching out to regulators and legislators. Y'all got a problem, and I am your solution. For those of you who have been watching for the last 55 minutes, thank you so much. I so appreciate you. I know I was waiting on a few questions, but I could do this all day, people. I could do this all day because this is a subject matter that I am so connected to. It runs through my veins like my blood. I am so in tune with the financial mishaps of this country when it comes to individuals of color, when it comes to ethnic groups that have been marginalized. I have done my due diligence. I have done my studies. I have done my homework right now. I am probably the most well-versed individual in this subject matter for this particular time in our history. I am no economics professional. I am by no means the brightest person in the room, but I can tell you right now, when it comes to this subject matter, I know what I'm talking about. And I've challenged all of them. Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, that new one that's out there, Invitas, I've asked the regulators. I've asked the legislators. Bring me to Congress. Have me on a C-SPAN opportunity so I can set those so-called Congress folks in order. You don't get to talk to us like that. You don't get to tell us, what's her name? That, oh my goodness, she was on the Trumper young lady. Can't remember her name, but it'll come to me in a little bit. But they don't get to talk to us. They work for us. They don't get to talk to us like that. Somehow it all got twisted. And we need to untwist it and set it right so that they understand. No. It says we the people. It doesn't say we Congress. I am a veteran. And that's the beauty of being someone who raised that hand and swore not allegiance to a party, not allegiance to a personality, but allegiance to the Constitution that said, I will defend this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And by God, right now, we have more domestic enemies than I've ever thought in my entire life that we would have. And it's time to set the record straight. Don't get me going here, because I can do this all day. I can do this all day. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody who gave us the opportunity to present this information. As I said, my name is Tyrone Glover. I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. Please email me at leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. You don't like email? Send me a text. 805-428-9424. You don't like texts? As I told you, go to my Linktree. Linktree is one of the coolest. I keep saying it over and over and over. It's one of the coolest forms of being able to compile all of the things that you do, whether it's videos, whether it's advertisement, whatever it is that you do. Linktree will categorize it. They will put it in nice little sections and chunks to where you, the individual, can make sure that all your information. I got Kiss Cafe on there. If you don't know about Kiss Cafe, oh my goodness, get you some of that good coffee. If you don't know about Hair Hands by Teeks, you need to check out my Linktree, Kiss Cafe and Hair Hands by Teeks. Scroll down, find them, get yourself on their mailing list, get yourself on their appointment list. Tell you, those are two entities that I definitely always have to bring notification or shout outs to. If you don't know my dear friend, Dr. Yana B at Access Wealth Nation, you need to get on board with Soul City Network. We are doing things that we should have been doing, and I'm so happy for our producers. I'm so happy for this network to be giving this information and me the space to do what I do best, which is help you, our consumer, get to that next level. I want to thank everybody who always tunes in. I want to thank those who come back at a later date. I am so grateful to be part of your afternoon, and it is a pleasure, and the pleasure is all mine. So thank you so much, everybody. You continue to stay safe. You continue to travel well. I hope that you are all voting, whatever primaries that might be coming up. I hope that you are all participating, because this is about democracy or autocracy or dictatorship. Everybody, y'all be safe. Take care. Peace out.